Hello, everyone. Good evening. How is everyone doing? Welcome, Facebook fans. Welcome, Twitter fans. Welcome, LinkedIn fans. Welcome, Instagram fans. Welcome, Discord fans. Welcome, everybody. Welcome,
Everybody.
YouTube
Every
fans.
fan.
Everybody from all platforms. We are talking Braves tonight. I got my friend Debo vibes.
Yes,
How you
sir.
doing, sir?
Doing blessing yourself.
Doing well, sir. Glad to have you tonight. We also have my friend, my colleague, Chris A1 from Day One. How you doing tonight, sir?
Hey man, hot, heavily favored man, blessed every single day. I'm happy to be on this podcast once again. Let's get it in.
Let's get it in, man. So tonight we're talking Braves, and we're really talking about the inactivity tonight. Well, not just tonight, the entire offseason. So just to go and review, we lost Max Fried to the Yankees. We lost Charlie Morton to the Orioles, and we lost Travis d'Arnaud to somebody I can't remember. But
Angels.
there you go, thank you, and Ron Washington. Shout out to Ron Washington.
Mm,
But we really haven't signed anyone but minor league players, right?
right.
Now, Braves typically spend money. They've spent money on their core, meaning Ronald Acuna, Ozzie Albies, Michael Harris, um, Austin Riley, Matt Olson, Spencer Strider, right? Those guys.
Right.
But left field is a concern. Shortstop is a luxury. We can make it if everybody else does their job. Arcia hitting his little 220 whatever and hitting his 12 home runs isn't going to bother anybody. We got to get Sean Murphy working, and Sean Murphy's another one that's a part of the core, right?
Correct.
So right now we need a left fielder. We need a starting pitcher, at least one, and we need a relief pitcher. And wow, I did not mean to put a period after that. Sorry, guys, I was in a rush. But I guess my question to you guys, to the panel, is what up with this? Like, why have we not done anything, in your opinion, Debo? Give me your thoughts on why the inactivity, because typically Alex goes out and gets it done. His gotta have it moves. He's going to get it done in like November.
Correct.
So
Right.
why do you think he's been
Mhm.
active to this point? Give me your thoughts.
Well, I think he's been inactive because right now we have a core. The 2025 team is a core team that can win a World Series championship. Let's be honest. Without some, key points, key pieces that we need. But to be honest, like I said, I don't think. I think Double A is known to make, like you said a little bit ago, T. Will. He's known to make his moves very, very quickly. But that doesn't mean that he's not going to make a move, what I'm saying, like make a trade that we're not aware of. Every now and then, you know, Double A does make a move out of nowhere that we don't know of, and a player that we don't know of, and he'll bring him in, and he'll be a key. That player will be a key piece to the actual puzzle. But the answer to your question, why we've been inactive in the off season, particularly this part of the year right here, is that he truly believes that the team that we have right now is a core team. But my main concern is the starting pitching, of course, because you're looking at three people in rotation that we're not going to have in the starting, on opening day. Those guys are going to be, Strider because he's out on the injury. Charlie Morton, he's
Mm-hmm.
gone. He went out to Baltimore. You
Mm-hmm.
know, and so we have these pieces that we don't have right here, and of course Max Fried.
Right.
So those are three guys right there that we're on that roster last year. That's not going to be on the roster for opening day. Strider's going to be in the equation, but to my understanding, you guys will know more. I don't know if he's going to be back until May or June, because they're going to like slowly bring him in. But to answer your question, I believe that Double A has been inactive and not bringing in the big names because, for one, I don't think Double A wants to, spend all that money to bring people in. I would love to, saying he brought in like someone like Garrett Crochet, to yes, as a starter. but he's not going to spend that type of money. But like I said a little bit ago, T. Will, just because he hasn't done anything as of yet doesn't mean that Double A. I think he has his cards close to the vest, and he might pull something off as far as the trade. But it is abnormal right now to see Double A not do anything, right, as far as like bringing somebody in to be a mainstay with the team.
Yeah,
that's a very good point. That's a very good point. You mentioned some, of course, Max Fried, Charlie Morton are gone. Strider's hurt. Well, not hurt, but on the mend, right, from surgery. On the mend. I shouldn't have said that. Matter of fact, let me knock on wood. We've got another guy.
Sir.
Yeah, Strider, he's on the way back. He's on the way back.
So right now, Spot Track, I'm sorry, has the Braves projected payroll right now at $199 million. Now, I don't know if that includes the arbitration salaries because they're going to go up. So, including the arbitration and the adjustments we may have, I believe you and I talked about this, Chris, and we said what, 221 million?
Yeah,
so that leaves you about 20 million to play with, which isn't a lot. Now, what we need to explain to the audience and those of you watching the show is, why is this such a big deal? What is the deal with this threshold? I mean, T. Will, please explain it to me, because it's not
T. Will. What they say in life that's guaranteed?
Death in Texas.
Death in Texas.
Death in Texas. That's a famous Wolverine quote. So, shout out to Wolverine wherever you are. So look it. Baseball doesn't have a salary cap, but they have a threshold. Meaning if you go over a certain amount of money that you spend on your payroll, and it is your annual revenue, you are taxed at a higher rate. Okay?
Correct.
The first year you do it, you are taxed 20% on all of your overages. The second year you do it, you are taxed 30% on all of your overages. Okay. Can you guys guess what year we are approaching?
Year number 3.
We are approaching year number 3. And in year number 3, guess what? You are charged 50%, right? Which is a whole, on all your overages. 50% is a whole lot of money. So the Braves, yeah. Well, hey, it's not my money, but I'm just saying that's a lot of money. So the Braves could be saying, look, we can stay here. We can stay where we are, and we can reset the threshold next year, and we're okay. And a couple of things that you guys need to know about the Braves. The Yankees, the Dodgers, maybe the Phillies all have really good TV deals. So to put apples to apples, the Dodgers TV deal is $300 million. That's right. $300 million per year. Meaning before they even sell a ticket, they got $300 million. But what it really means is their payroll is covered there, right? The Braves TV deal at one point was $40 million, which is a joke. I do not think it is much higher. I do not think it is even $100 million right now. It renews, or it expires in 27, which means in 28 we would get a new deal, right? But what I'm saying is teams like the Dodgers and Yankees have an advantage because going in the door, you already got your payroll covered, right? Now the Braves made a very wise decision moving out to Cobb County, because
and having that battery.
Correct. The battery and all of those amenities are revenue for the Braves, but it's nothing like a $200 million TV deal, right?
Oh,
so
absolutely.
I can see them being hesitant to spend money because you really are at the 50% marker. And understand, the Braves are not held by an owner. They are a corporation in and unto themselves, right?
Yeah. They got out of that Liberty Media shadow and, it became their own entity. And then remember, too, T. Will, it was a point in time to where the Braves were in heavy debt as well, too.
Yeah.
Because of that battery and everything. So they were climbing out of that debt, too. I think they are just about out of it. They should be at least.
Oh, they're out of it, bro. They're way out of it. Like they made a lot of money. But Here's the thing, and Marvette brings up a point. She says it doesn't matter with the Braves; they are super cheap and don't want to spend money. Marvette, that is true, and that is not true. That is true. It's true, and it's not true.
Right.
They don't like to spend money. They will spend money, but they want to get value. So Marvette has a point. They're not going to go out and sign. Was it Juan Soto that signed for like $765 million? They will never do that.
No, that's those type of deals.
They will never do that. They will never go out and sign. Was it Max Fried got 200? What did he get? 200?
I think 218.
218, something like that. They're never going to do that because they believe in value, right? So if you look at it, let's take Mike Trout, for example. About 8 years ago, Mike Trout signed a deal for $400 and something million. Mike Trout can't stay healthy
at all,
right?
At all.
So what is there?
He's such a great player.
Exactly. He can't stay healthy. So what is their return on investment? Well, right now it sucks. Now, in the first 2-3 years of the deal, it was great. But looking at it now, they couldn't get rid of Mike Trout if they tried because he can't stay healthy. Every year he's missing games, right? And I'm not saying that's the case for every one of these contracts, but in most cases, if you do a 13-year deal, the last 6 years of that deal, that performance is going to decline tremendously, right? But you've already committed those resources. So the Braves think, look, we want to get value. We're going to go ahead and sign a rookie, right? Before you hit the market, and we'll give you some money, but we're not going to go crazy, right? And they've done that with Riley. They did that with Murphy. They did that with Matt Olson. They did that with Acuna. They did that with Ozzie. That Ozzie deal, we're going to look at it, but that Ozzie deal is almost criminal. They did it with Michael Harris, right?
They know almost.
So Marvette is correct. The Braves are cheap, but they do spend money because looking at this, the Braves right now are at $200 million, right?
Yeah, they right there at it.
They're at $200 million, really $221 million. Now, if we want to look at the top payrolls in baseball, let's do that. The Braves are in the top 10.
And while you pulling that up too, man, a point that you was trying to make, we got to get more out of Sean Murphy. Yeah, because a 193 batting average ain't going to do it. He only had 10 home runs. That was definitely down from the previous year. Just production-wise, just period. But it's just like he's so valuable because he can call a good game as far as like for your pitching.
Correct.
And it just that right there is so valuable. It's just like, okay, come on, Sean, get it together because you can get that bat going. We really can have something, But, the Braves are really high on a guy that you thought they might trade, man. I don't know. They may keep old Drake Baldwin around.
It looks like they may.
They're going to keep him. Yeah, keep old Drake. The reason I say that is because I was just looking at a couple of things of what the Braves are doing, and there are a couple of times where teams went to Double-A. It's like, hey, we can acquire. You can acquire said player, but if you want to trade, we want Drake Baldwin with the deal. And each time, this happened a couple of times where Double-A was like, we're not giving up Drake Baldwin. They're not giving him up whatsoever, and which is kind of scratching my head. Because Sean Murphy's going to be on the team for another 2-3 years. So
I think he's going to be on the team for another 4 or 5.
I'm talking minimum 2-3 years, 4 or 5 years. Yeah. So, but again, there's something about Drake Baldwin where they're not going to let him go. So that's something to be said right there, and definitely something to look at in reference to what they're going to do. I mean, he has a great bat, but what is a great bat going to do? As far as like, we need him as a catcher as well. We already got a DH. So I'm kind of scratching my head on, a lot of teams out there. Well, I'm not going to say a lot of teams. Several teams acquired about Drake Baldwin, and Double-A was like, we're not giving him up whatsoever.
So Marvette says they should consider Jesus Luzardo. And Marvette, I'm sorry to tell you, Florida already traded him to the hated Phillies.
Yep.
Because I wanted Luzardo. I wanted Luzardo. And to your point, Debo, the Braves were in on Garrett Crochet, and they wanted Drake Baldwin, and AA told them no.
No.
Now,
correct.
Here's why I'm curious, right? Because if Sean Murphy is your catcher and you paid him like he's your catcher, you got him for at least the next 5, 6, 7 years, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Why are you keeping Drake Baldwin?
That's my question. That's a question to be asked, and that's why I was trying to scratch my head about in reference to. I mean, it's always good to have a prospect, but we have a prospect in a position that's going to be, Sean Murphy was going to, like you guys touched on, is going to be with us for years to come.
Now let me ask you this, guys. Okay, because of that, do you guys think that they may just start splitting time? But Jake Baldwin and because I'm just saying, let's not act like we just do that with Darno and my guy Sean Murphy.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just saying, you think they're just gonna start splitting time now with Baldwin and Murphy because of that bat? Because it'd be certain games, against certain lineups, you maybe want that bat over the defense, and
Well, let's go back to what you said a little bit ago, Chris. Sean Murphy calls a great game. So, we don't know what type of game Drake Ball was going to call because he's with the Stripers right now. So I can't foresee them splitting time or doing like a battery with those two. And but it goes back to the initial question: why did we not trade him? And that's what's really scratching my head.
Well, I don't know. I tell you what they could do. Ozuna's deal expires this year.
Yep, I was like, here it comes. Yeah. That was going to be my next thing, moving him to DH.
So Alex being Alex, right? Trying to, I guess, maximize his resources and dollars. He could not sign Ozuna. And I really would hate that because I think Ozuna is the life's blood and heartbeat of that clubhouse. Ozuna is in that clubhouse. And if you don't know that, you need to know, this is Ozuna's world. And that they love him. They revere him. They love that man.
And he turned his season around midway like last year. Remember, it was a point in time where it was like, please get rid of Marcell Ozuna. And then all of a sudden he turned it around.
Yeah.
Finished the season strong and then picked it right back up this season and really was one of our most consistent players this season, especially.
He was our MVP. He was unresoundingly our MVP. No doubt, make no mistake about it. Without Marcell Ozuna, we don't make the playoffs. And it's not even close.
Agreed. Totally agree with that.
He carried us, right? But again, if you're thinking I'm not going to re-sign Ozuna, if you're thinking that and you see this kid coming along, hey, maybe you slide him in at DH, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's much cheaper, right? I don't know. I don't know what he's thinking, but I think it's very interesting because I know the Braves wanted Garrett Crochet. I know they did. Oh, they want it. So the fact that you didn't include him in that trade, you have plans for him. And I was incredibly wrong. Marvette says, here's what I think Braves are missing. Every division rival strengthening their rosters in order to find postseason success. The Braves need to stop playing it safe. Marvette, I hear you, but the problem is that just don't want to go over that. I agree. Look, we're all frustrated because we're all like, you see the Phillies traded for Jesus Luzardo.
Mm-hmm.
The Mets gave Soto an ungodly amount, and they're signing pitchers like every day.
Right.
And we're just sitting here twiddling our thumbs like, hey.
Not get started on what the Dodgers have done.
Oh my God.
God.
They may be better this coming.
The Dodgers
just signed Blake Snell.
Can we
and Hoy-Sung Kim, the shortstop. So I mean, it's like
they did just
and they re-signed what's his name in left field.
I'm
so old. Jesus Christ.
I'm just so
Teoscar. They re-signed Teoscar.
Teoscar, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And dude, can we just call the Dodgers the Avengers? Because I mean,
no, I'm not calling them nothing like that. I'm
just saying the Legion of Doom. The Legion of Doom.
No, but they are looking good on paper. I'm sorry. I mean, they already won the World Series, so their team on paper already looked good. But now they just look even better.
And they're making moves, which is frustrating. So like,
and that's why we're here to having this discussion because we're seeing what's going on around as fans, as you know, I'm saying of the game and everything, and it's just like, okay, Braves, like what you gonna do? And it almost feels like if we don't make any moves, then this is going to be kind of like one of those let's go ahead and reset years. Kind of going back to that what you was talking about, T. Will, about how we could reset the taxes and be better off the following year.
Yeah,
but it's just like, dang, man, you want to, and then at the same time, you look at it too. We do have our MVP, former MVP, coming off of injury. We do have Spencer Strider, one of our aces, coming off of injury. I don't expect Acuna to be anything like how he was before until after the All-Star break. Like his body may be on the field, but I don't think the ability is going to be fully back until after the All-Star break.
I agree with that.
So guys,
you got to get going.
I'm about to ask a question that's going to piss everybody off in the chat. And
trade Acuna?
I'm asking, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm not saying right now, right? I'm not saying right now.
Get crazy on a Saturday night, y'all.
Yes, I am. So let's look at Acuna's deal. And I know you guys are thinking, what the hell is T. Will drinking? But let's look at his deal, right? So we have him until 2028, right?
Mm-hmm.
17 million, which for Acuna is a steal. But this is his second knee injury. Second torn ACL, right? We don't know what he's going to be like when he comes back. And I'm not saying you trade him this year. I'm not saying you trade him next year. But let's be real. We're not signing Acuna for what will essentially be $900 million in 2029. We're just not going to do it.
No.
So at some point, the conversation is going to come up, right? Now, I know Acuna loves it here.
He does.
But if I'm being honest, Acuna, Soto. Acuna's getting paid $100 million. Soto's getting paid 7 times that. Possibly 8 if he can hit certain factors. $800 million. Damn. I just, you know what? Collectively, I just need to, damn. Right? I'm just being honest. And if you're Acuna, hey, man, come on, bro. That's like me, you, and Debo doing a show, and y'all get paid $5,000, and I get paid $800. That's going to mess with me.
As well as should, yeah.
That's going to mess with my ego, right? I'm not saying you trade him this year, because I love me some Ronald Acuna. But look it. You get to 2028, Ronald's going to be 30 years old. That's going to be the best contract he's ever going to get, right? Even on 2 injured knees coming off of that, I still see Ronald getting at least $500 million. Easy. I don't know that I see the Braves doing that.
Well, so I mean, the thing about that, T. Will, it's going to come down to the production. But you know how certain players, you know, I said like they are like the heartbeat, just like how we was talking about for Acuna. I'm sorry, Ozuna. Damn. But how we talking about Ozuna, how he was pretty much the heartbeat of the locker room. Losing Ozuna, it would be a big blow. But just imagine if the Atlanta Braves really traded Ronald Acuna Jr. right now, considering the fact. Well, you said not right now.
No, so, not right now.
So let's fast forward real quick to 2 years from now. What if
let's say
Ronald
3 years?
Acuna, though, 3? Okay, so in 3 years though. But in 3 years though, what if his production is still MVP level? It's like, are you going to make that hard choice in saying we're going to trade an MVP because we don't want to pay?
Let me remind you of something, my friend.
We
let Freddie Freeman walk over essentially 1 year.
Wait a minute now. I still put that on Freddie.
You can put it on whoever you want to, We still did it. You know who else we let walk? We let Dansby Swanson walk.
Come on, man.
I'm just saying.
You wouldn't have paid Dansby what the Chicago Cubs paid.
You're damn right I wouldn't have paid him that, but we still let him walk. You absolutely right. I wouldn't have paid him that. Ain't no way in hell I would. I'm sorry. I'm working on my cussing. I'm sorry, Lord. I'm sorry, Kim. My wife been getting on me about my. I'm sorry, Kim. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm passionate, Kim. So look, bro. It's gonna be $800 million. You think and he'll be 30. You know the Braves ain't gonna give anybody 30. That is not gonna happen.
No, Double A is not gonna do that. They're not gonna give it that. So yeah, I mean, I know
that's why, and that's why I feel like for Acuna, it would be like a special case. Not saying that they're gonna pay that money. I'm saying the special case would be, you know how the move go. We're gonna offer you some type of extension before your contract ends. Now, if he don't get that, then it's gonna be Max Fried all over again. It's gonna be maybe they will, and everyone all over again. That's what I'm looking at. Will they? Because I mean, before he got injured, remember we was already there. There was already chirping about that. So I would think in those 3 years in time, will there be an extension somewhere in there? I think that right there would answer it all. If you don't see no extension within the next 3 years, he may be gone.
But here's the thing. I'm sorry, Debo Vibes. Go ahead.
No. I was just going to address Marvette when she said, I see right here that Acuna is the face of the Braves. No doubt, for sure.
I've pissed her off.
And the very last part, she says, who has his skills when he is healthy? That's the part I'm worried about. When he's healthy. No, nobody.
Not a soul in MLB.
Nobody. But my concern is when he's healthy.
Thing is Ohtani.
Can he stay healthy? Right.
Can he stay healthy? That's my point. When he's healthy.
Stay healthy. Right. And which brings up another. Let's say, God forbid, he gets hurt again. Maybe you can keep him. I know. I'm calling penalty on myself. 50-yard penalty. Unnecessary innuendo on T-Well. On T-Well.
What is in that cup, T-Well? My goodness.
I don't know, man. It's just water. It's just water. But all seriousness, I mean, it's interesting, right? It is interesting. Now they can offer him an extension, but again, bro, we talking about $800 million smackaroos.
And there's going to be another team that offers that.
Oh my God, it's going to be
if not more
teams, right?
And just like Chris said, we're looking at another Max Fried situation. Because we're not going to pay him.
You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what? Let's take a look at the opposite end, the total opposite end of the spectrum. And that's Ozzie Albies. And not because Albies is not a great player. Now, Albies does not have a great arm. But Albies, in my humble opinion, is being severely underpaid. So Ozzie Albies made $7 million last year. He's going to make $7 million this year, and they have club options for 26 and 27, which, I mean, Dansby's getting what? 23, 24 a year?
I don't know, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
And Ozzie's basically 30 home run, 100 RBI when he's healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Now, again, Ozzie has those just strange injuries, these freak occurrences, right? But when healthy, Ozzie is going to hit you 30 bombs, and he's going to get you 100 RBIs. Do you guys think we re-sign him? Because my concern is as he gets older, that arm, the only place he could play is second base, and he rates Ozzie's arm is really bad because he hurt his shoulder like either his first, second year or whatever. Because when Ozzie came up, he was a shortstop, but once he hurt his shoulder, he really couldn't throw anymore. Now he's not as bad as Ozuna. He can throw, but the velocity coming off that thing is not great. But look, I'm not going to attack Ozzie's defense. I like Ozzie. I love Ozzie. I love Ozzie's spirit. I think Ozzie's great. And if it's up to me, I keep Ozzie.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Because you probably could re-sign him. I don't know what he's going to want. Probably more than 30 million, or 30. I think his first contract was 34 million. But
right.
I think they keep him. Right?
Does anybody give us a hometown discount? Because we haven't had that either.
Ozzy and Acuna. Ozzy and Acuna. They already gave us a hometown discount, man.
Ozzy gives a hometown discount as well, but
right. You know what I'm saying though, like moving forward,
I mean, just the way
we want to get paid.
The way the market is, the way these teams are set up, a la the Dodgers, the Mets, and Yankees, etc. When they're literally throwing, like you said, a little bit of T-Will, an ungodly amount of money. I think these days of hometown discounts are over, because if someone's going to sit there and throw all this money to this man, I mean, and I don't think it's going to be like, well, I was going to give a hometown discount right here. He really can't be traded. What team will give the Braves equal value?
That's a good point, Marvette. That's a good point, because it's not just Ozzy's value on the field. Let me tell you something. Snit loves Ozzy.
Oh yeah,
Snit loves the hell out of Ozzy.
Think about the relationship with him and Acuna.
Yeah. And matter of fact, y'all would know more than me, but when Ozzy signed that contract, a lot of that contract had to do because he wanted to stay here because Acuna was here.
Yeah.
So that's why he basically gave at that point a discount as well. But so no, you're right. The relationship with him and Acuna is like they're like brothers pretty much. So and Snit loves that, like you said a little bit ago, T-Will. So that's something to consider as well.
Yeah, I mean, Snit likes Acuna. Snit loves Ozzy. Like I believe Snit probably has had Ozzy over for dinner a couple of. Snit loves Ozzy. Ozzy, you bringing that stuff from Curacao? All right, buddy, come on.
No, Lord.
Yeah, let me tell you, Snit loves Ozzy. Loves him like he look at him like a son on the baseball field. I'm telling you. Now he's grown to love Ronald, because in the beginning it was kind of bumpy, right? Because Ronald came up and he was brash and cocky and whatever, and they grew to love and respect each other. Fine, it worked out. But I'm saying
they were looking at each other kind of sideways.
Yeah, and look, some people say that. And I don't know how you guys feel about this. You guys are just opening up so many Pandora's boxes. But some people say that when Freddie left, the leadership kind of walked out, right? Like, how do you guys feel about that? And I'm not saying that's true or not. I'm not saying that, look, this Braves team has discipline. I'm not saying they were rudderless.
Mm-hmm.
But they were missing something in 2024.
I will say this. I won't say it was completely gone, because you still had veterans, even if you look at the pitching staff.
Right.
But it did take a hard hit. It was almost like a critical hit, crushing blow to the sternum when Freddie did move on. If we're talking about just pure leadership, I mean, we already know what he could do on the field, everything like that. But we're just talking about just that clubhouse and leadership and everything. Oh yeah, it was a crushing blow.
And T-Will, I mean,
even though Matt Olson was a bat, he wasn't Freddie in the locker room.
Yeah,
and I felt the same way. To be honest with you guys, I felt the same way about EY and Ron Washington Jr. when they left. When they left, a little bit of leadership left as well. And apparently last year the leadership was picked up a little bit by Travis d'Arnaud, but now he's gone too. He's gone. So as far as leadership is concerned, maybe Austin Riley, maybe, but to your point.
Yeah.
No, when Freddie left, there was definitely some leadership that led along with the organization when he left.
Yeah, and let me tell you something. Let me tell you what I think was the I don't want to call it the fatal blow, but the body blow that really got him when Ron Washington left that next year or 2 years. I think that really derailed the Braves last year, because Ron was that guy that was like, "Hey man, I need you to get your shit together, bud. I need you to," and he could do it because he had them since they were babies, right? He had Acuna, he had Ozzy, he had Austin. He had all of them since they were, so there was a level of trust there, right?
Mhm.
There are things that Ronald Washington can walk up to Ronald Acuna and say that Matt Tuciopo better not even think about saying. Don't you dare, right? You better not. You better go sit your ass. And you better. I'm sorry, Kim. I'm sorry. I'm just saying, right?
So you're doing a good job, T. Will. You do.
I'm
good.
trying.
You're trying, bro.
I'm working on my cousins. But look,
that's all you can do, bro.
You can't replace that. You can't replace a Ron Washington.
No.
Oh,
no. You can't replace that.
Continuity walked out the door with him too.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, when Ron Washington left and EY left, Eric Young left. Like I said, a lot of leadership left when those guys left the organization.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
and like you said, the whole Freddie Freeman, you know what I'm saying, aspect of when he left, you know, there's some, so a lot of things that were going on last year where the Braves as a team internally didn't really have that guy to say, you know, shut the hell up type of deal.
There you go. or because look at, you guys have played sports. You need all kinds of guys on your team. You need the choir boy, right? You need the pretty boy. You need the dude that's gonna fight, and you need the dude that's gonna be like, "Hey man, all y'all shut up. Let's go." You need that component. And if you don't have that, something's missing, right? You know. So I mean, I don't know, but look at guys, we got a whole lot of stuff to talk about tonight. So, hey, let's get into it. This is fun. So. Let's look at some we looked at our upcoming decisions. We looked at the payroll, right? Let's look at who's available and who's out there on the open market. Well, thanks for considering, Marvette. You were just such a great participant. I just wanted to give you the option, but thank you for staying with us anyway. We appreciate it. So let's look at who's available, right? Let me first off find it.
Why are you looking at that? Why are you looking at T? Well, me and Chris, just this last night, we were discussing, like, you know, when everything went down with Charlie Morton going, it's like, man, like, what's Double A going to do? And like, ain't nobody out there to Martin. I said the cupboards are bare. Like, who's out there right now? And that's a great question about who's available, man.
Shoot, I know who's available. T. Will, Debo Vibes, and Chris Tipmore. We're all available.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's do it. Let's get it.
You know what I'm saying? We can all go out there and give you a batter apiece. And you know, I said, let me go first. And
hey, man, I can do a mean bunt, bro. I can lay a mean bunt. So
hey, let me tell you something, man. I would bat 0 and my ERA would be 78.5. I would be terrible. Nobody get this guy out of here. Who
I'm walking everybody.
Probably the highest ERA ever in life.
And that's what it would be, sir. That's what it would be, because I got one pitch and it ain't fast. So Angel says we got to stay healthy, number one. Pitching was a concern also. And now Fried and Morton are gone. Yeah. And we'll get into that, because it's not only Fried and Morton, it's the innings that they pitch that we got to find, right? But we'll get into that. We will get into that. And Angel, how you doing? Thank you for joining our show. We got ATL Kool-Aid drinkers. How you doing, man? How you doing? What's going on?
Yes, sir.
Good to see you. So, guys, this is who is available. We got Justin Jerickson Profar, who's decent. My concern with him is he had the best year of his life in a contract year. Right. And that's usually a red flag, because it's kind of hard to duplicate those numbers. But he did have a good year. You got Mark Canha, who's a little long in the tooth. I don't know about him. You got Austin Hayes, who's decent. You got Alex Verdugo. I don't want to go near him, and I don't want to go near Tommy Pham. And Tommy Pham may be a great dude, but his reputation is terrible.
Yeah,
he has a
horrible reputation.
Like
good, serviceable player, but horrible reputation.
Horrible, right? And you know the Braves they don't do that. So I don't think they're doing Verdugo. I don't think they're gonna go Tommy Pham.
And he's old.
Yeah,
that part too.
And
yeah, 37, right? Yeah, that's not
yeah. And after Tommy Pham, like the drop is bad, because now you're at a 0.8 WAR, 0.5. just to give you a comparison, Adam Duvall, as bad as he was last year, was a 0.4 WAR, right? So 0.8 isn't much better. So in my opinion, your options are Profar, Canna, Austin Hayes, because Verdugo is terrible. Verdugo shows up late to games. Verdugo's a jerk. All right. And I know I don't say I know, but I've heard from reliable sources that Verdugo is he's a problem, right? So I don't want him. I don't want Tommy Pham. So that really leaves you Jerickson Profar, Mark Canna, Austin Hayes. Maybe Mark Canna. I don't see them doing Jerickson Profar. They could. I just don't see it.
But let me ask you fellas a question. Though. Just that I'm about to say the same thing, Chris. And on top of that, when you look at the options that you said, T. Will, are those better options or equal options than what we already have?
That's a good question. Well, Profar, yeah. So Profar is definitely better than Kellner.
Right.
Wait, is it Kelnick? Kelnick.
Yeah, Kelnick.
Kelnick, yeah.
I would say Canna is better than. I would say Profar, Canna, and Austin Hayes are better than Kelnick. I'll give you that. It's just whether or not you want to go ahead and sign him.
And on top of that, I think the guys that we signed. Well, what if? Of course, we're doing what if right now. Yeah. These guys that we signed, even one of these guys, I mean, when they end up just being platoon options and not everyday left fielders.
Well, if it's Profar, he's going to start.
Right.
If it's Canna, because Connor's a lot older, he probably is a platoon, right?
Okay.
If it's Austin Hayes, again, he could start. But
it damn sure can't be Adam Duvall again.
No, Adam Duvall is not. I don't think he's coming back for us. I mean, nice guy, but I think he's done. I think he is Dunsville.com. Angel says, got to stop recycling these players too. Soler was awesome during our chip year. Couldn't hit a waffle ball this season.
True. That's
true. All right. So Marvette says, what about Julio Urias? Julio Urias is a pitcher, right?
Yeah, pitcher.
Is he on the market? Let's see. Yeah, that's a lot of pitchers.
Not really.
I don't see. I want to say
it's a lot of pitchers, but you know what I'm saying. I'm looking.
No, I get it. Once you get past a certain point, because again, looking at WAR, you got Kyle Gibson, you got Jack Flaherty, who's got a 5.0 WAR.
Yeah,
who's decent, but he's gonna want money, and he's 29, and I just don't see it. You know what I mean? Like if he was 24, 25, but at 29. You may as well turn around, Playboy. There's Kyle Gibson. There's Justin Verlander, but I think Justin Verlander is done. Yeah, I think he's done.
Might as well just go get Max Scherzer if you're gonna try to go get.
And I'm gonna say he's done too.
Here's a question. Here's a question for you, fellas. Since we're talking about free agent pitchers, and I'm going to bring up a very controversial name.
All right.
Would you guys be open to Trevor Bauer?
Oh my God. Woo. You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think Trevor pitches again. And from all intents and purposes, I think he was innocent. I just think the stain of it will never come off, right? Because I think he was proven innocent. But let me tell you something about these ATL teams, man. They do not like controversy. From the Braves, to the
I can play devil's advocate. What you said, that's correct. But wasn't John Rocker controversial?
Yeah, but they got rid of him.
I'm about to say, but they got rid of him. He was on the first thing smoking as soon as
they got rid of him. Well, I didn't know they got rid of him that fast because I thought he stuck around for like another year or so. But you said you guys think they got rid of him right away.
I don't want to say it was right away, but it was like that same season.
His day, right? You could tell his days were numbered.
Yeah, because he was like, even Brian. Remember Brian Jordan, who used to be an outfield? He was like, they interviewed. He was like, this guy's a cancer, right? And for the Braves,
right,
to call another player, boy, he was gone. So I think it was the same season. I don't know when it was. That's actually a good question. That's a good question. I don't know what, but it was the same season. Angel says, who's going to be the backup catcher now that Travis is gone? I think that's going to be Chadwick Trunk, but it could be.
It's going to be Trump.
Drake Baldwin. Dude, if they're keeping Drake Baldwin,
it may be Trump though.
It may be
Trump, and then we'll see what happens with Baldwin.
Why are you here? That's why I look.
Yeah.
At it. If not, then why are you here?
Yeah, I you know what, guys? I wonder, and I'm just starting some ish right now because I'm in the mood for it. But I wonder if we could see Drake in left field. I wonder. I'm starting tonight.
I'm like Chris, man. What are you sipping on right now, bro?
Man, what is in that cup?
What is in that cup? You need to pass. Pass that. Hey, pass that cup, bro.
Man said we gonna put Drake Baldwin in left field.
Right.
They've done it before. They tried it with Austin Riley, man. I mean, look at
they tried with Chipper Jones too. Look what happened.
I think Chipper was out there for what, 2 years, and then he came back when they signed.
He came right back in. Yeah, he came right back in.
As soon as
they signed Vinny Castilla, and Chipper was out there with Andrew and Gary Sheffield. I think
he sure was.
I think he was out there, Andrew and Gary Sheffield.
All kind of errors. Yeah, they're looking crazy.
I've been third base my whole life. These folk, buddy, been folk, baby. Look, I love these birdies.
Oh man, well, he wasn't as bad as Ozuna. Now I'm not gonna let you say that.
I agree with that. Yeah,
he wasn't as bad as Ozuna.
Nah,
oh man,
sheesh. Yeah, don't put him back out there in your life.
No, you will never see that. Now that you won't, because if you're gonna do that, you may as well have kept Soler. ATL Kool-Aid drinkers. My guy was white last year. I would like to see him get a chance. The thing about him, I just don't think he gets on base enough. And the Braves honestly like power. The Braves like power, right? They want you to be able to hit at least 15, 20 home runs, and left field is one of those premium positions, and I just don't see Eli White doing that.
We do have a new hitting coach. Do you think the philosophy may change? Will we be looking to get on base more so than just trying to grand slam everything?
It's not going to change that much, buddy. It's not going to change to where Eli White has a chance of starting. It's not going to change that much.
Yeah,
let me say it ain't going to do that. Because look at when you think about a team, right? You also have these analysts, right?
Right.
You have these analytics is a big part of the game, right? So each break, when you talk about left field, center field, right field, third base, first base, you need to be able to hit home runs. Now, second base is okay, and shortstop, if you play great defense, you're okay. But those corner positions, they need to be able to hit some home runs. So I don't know that Eli. First off, I don't know that he gets on at a high enough clip to do that. Like if he was hitting 400, sure, put him on, but he's not, right? So
and I hate to go back to it, but that's why you also knew that the Braves had a luxury. Because at one point in time, the Braves had power at third base, shortstop, second base, and first base.
Oh man, we were killing it, bro. Those were the days. We were killing it. Bro. We were killing it. So let's look at these pictures, right? Again, dude, I don't ever want to see Patrick Corbin ever. Like his ERA is like infinity. He was terrible in Washington and beyond. Like he was terrible. So I don't want him. Jose Quintana's all right. I don't understand how Corbin and Quintana have a similar WAR. Like that's scary. I don't know about that. Maybe Corbin wasn't bad last year, but I don't know. You've got Quintana. You've got Michael Lorenzen. Michael Lorenzen is all right. And he probably won't cost you a lot of money. Clevenger has an injury history.
Mm-hmm.
Lance Lynn has been okay, and he's been terrible. And after that, like I don't even want.
Right, the drop off is berserk.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Bro. So really, you got to look at what we have in the minors, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we've got. You know what? Let me bring up.
We signed plenty of minor league deals now. So,
oh my God, that's all we've signed, bro.
So
that is all we've signed.
pretty minor deals, though.
We are
as of right now, we only have 4 starters, and one of them's not ready.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Stroud's not ready. So the only stars we got right now is we got Lopez and we got Sale and who's our other star we got, man? Swellenbach.
Yeah.
So
you got AJ Smith-Shawver.
Mm-hmm.
You got Hurston Waldrop. Mm-hmm. You got what's his name that came back, and let me go to the 40-man roster. I'm sorry, Atlanta Braves. Oh my God, I cannot type to save my life. Braves 40-man roster. All right, so you got Bryce Elder, Connor Gillespie, Grant Holmes can start, right?
Let's go Grant Holmes.
Grant Holmes can start.
Grant Holmes.
You got Alan Winans. No. Bryce Elder, no.
At least it's not Vines. You know,
Dylan Dodd is worse. No, right? So really, and Ian Anderson, I just don't know because he hasn't been the same.
Man,
he hasn't been the same.
If we could get that old Ian Anderson back, man, we'll start be cooking a little bit.
You know what, Chris? I love you, but if was a fifth, we'd all be drunk. I just don't see
all be drunk. Well, I don't know. You know, you got some stuff in that cup, so
I'm
killing it.
I'm just killing
saying,
it. I don't see Ian coming back. Like I just and look it. I will happily be wrong. I would love to be wrong because we could use him, but from what I see, like, and let's do some catching up. So he was playing when the Braves were on a win streak before the trade and brung Soler.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair. I just don't see him doing enough. Elder and Bummer need to be replaced. I not see nobody like. I like Bummer. Bummer was actually decent last year. I mean, okay, he might have given up a few, but Bummer was decent. I like Lopez. Yeah.
Ronaldo, Raylo. You know what I'm saying? Raylo, you're gonna have Raylo. You're gonna have Strider coming back.
But that could be 2 months in, right?
Swally. You got Swelly, and I mean. You're going to AJ Smith-Shawver, I think, can get that spot too. I just feel so bad for AJ how he was just thrust into that game. He was not.
Yeah, game 1, but I think AJ Smith-Shawver is going to start off with the Stripers, and then work his way up.
He may
eventually, and then eventually work his way up to a full-time starter. I don't think he's ready to be in rotation right now, at all.
Well, he's out of options, is he not? After this year, is he not out of options? Meaning you can't send him down anymore. I think AJ's out of options, or he may have one left, but I think he's out of options.
It's not many. Yeah, I feel what you're saying. It's not many. Don't quote me, because I don't want to say yes or no.
Yeah,
but I think it is close.
Yeah, I think So honestly, looking at this, it's probably AJ and Grant Holmes, because Hurstrom, the word on Hurst, I cannot say it. Hurston. Thank you, Hurston. The thing about him is he's better suited to be a reliever. And I ultimately think that's where he'll be. I don't know if he'll be there this year, but the projection for him is as a reliever, right? No AJ as a starter. No, I think AJ would be good as a starter, Kool-Aid, but he's got to work on a couple of pitches, right? So he's got to work on getting that changeup over consistently. And he's just got to work on his secondary pitches. AJ can pitch at this level. We've seen that.
I think so.
AJ can pitch at this level, but it's just, can he do it? So to me, it's going to come down to AJ,
Grant Holmes.
Yeah. And then after that, pray. Because I don't want to see Elder, and I honestly don't want to see Ian. You might see Ian Anderson get traded. If they can find somebody to take him. You might see that. Marvet is like, Bummer recorded 28% strikeout. Exactly. Yeah, he wasn't bad. Well, that slider is a wipeout pitch, right? That fastball is above league average, but that slider, when he can throw it, is a wipeout pitch. You're not hitting that. You're just
I can't argue with that. I can't argue with that. Hurston, Hurston, there are concerns with his whip. He needs to develop more. Yep, he needs to be developed more. I agree. I don't think Hurston is ready. I think he's a great project that's on the rise, but as far as like trying to put him out there next year, like as a starter off the rip, nah, don't do that.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. So, I mean, unless you can trade, right? Because we've seen what's out there in free agency, and I just don't see us giving Jack Flaherty a deal. That is so anti-Braves. You know, maybe if he was 27 or 26, but at 29, hell no. Alex is allergic to pitchers at 30.
If you were going to sign Flaherty to a big deal, really, you can say him now because it's like who else is out there, but it's just like, dang, bro, it's just like you should have just kept the guy you just had,
which was Max Fried. Yeah, exactly. Like Rick Ross is allergic to broke. Alex Anthopoulos is allergic to pitchers over 30. That's just not his. That's not his jam. That is not his jam. So I don't see that. So look it. We've seen who's available, right? We've looked at the current payroll. Here's a question, guys. If we make no moves, because it could happen, you know.
But that's what it's looking like. Yeah, that's what it looks like. That's what it looks like.
You guys are probably listening to me going, yeah, right, T. Will. What the hell is in that cup? What are you doing? I'm telling you, it could happen. We could not sign somebody. And I know y'all gonna be mad, but it could happen. In the case of that, when you finally do get Acuna and Strider back, is this team constructed as it currently is good enough to win a World Series? And I'll throw that out to the chat as well. If we get everybody back healthy, right? So we get Acuna back, you know, and he's confident and he's running on it and he's not afraid. You get Albies back, right? He full speed ahead. You get Strider back. Are we good enough to win a World Series? Are we good enough to beat the Dodgers in a 7-game series and go kick whoever's ass we face next in the World Series? Your thoughts?
No, that's tough.
I mean, my main concern right now, as a team constructed right now, I would say yes. I mean, like position wise, yes. I mean, my concern would be relief pitching and a closer. I mean, so those are my main concerns right there. So, but like you said, I mean, we all know the names out there. I mean, as far as our team is concerned, they're absolutely able to win a World Series. But as constructed right now, there are small pieces that we need to actually put in there, which goes back to what we talked about when we started the cast. It's frustrating because we're not seeing, Double A do anything. But I think that he believes the team that we have right now is going to win a World Series. But we do have small pieces out there we need. Like I said, my main concern, me personally, would be the relief pitching and closer, because we don't need to get some pitchers out there and they're getting taxed all over the place and losing games. Yeah. But offensively, health. We're talking about health, a healthy roster. Yeah, I don't think there's a better roster in the league.
Yeah, offensively, if we're healthy, I think we could take it to anybody. I'll give you that. I think we could take it to anybody.
Well, overall, I ain't gonna lie to you. When you just think about the core alone, just the guys that we signed and locked up, that core is a very formidable core against. I'll put that core up against anybody else's core. Like seriously, we're talking about Austin Riley, the Matt Olsons, the Ozzie Albies, Acuna, you know what I'm saying? It just like all those
Michael Harris.
Come on now. Yeah. Yes, I'm saying Michael Harris. You have those guys locked up. They're going to be on this staff. They're going to be on this team.
Yeah.
You have those players to already build upon. You just really putting players around those guys. Guys, I'm not going to lie to you. If we could get all the way healthy and get into a rhythm, I believe, even if it's slow steady in the beginning, of the season. Like, you know what I'm saying? I believe like after the All-Star break, you could get hot and possibly, you know what I'm saying, run that right into the postseason. You really could. Again, we're assuming that they stay healthy. We're assuming that everybody's bat is, you know what I'm saying, doing what they're supposed to do, the pitching is doing what it's supposed to do. And if everything's staying on point, yeah, I think we can make it to the postseason, make some noise, possibly, you know, and get hot enough to win a World Series. Again, I know it's a lot of things that got to go right for the Braves in there, but with that core alone.
Let me give y'all a follow-up. Let me ask a follow-up question. With everything that you said, Chris, everything you said, T. Will, are the Braves the 2025 NL East champs?
I mean, you know what? Ooh, Chris, you go first, Chris.
Again, things would have to go the Braves' way. Like things would have to go very perfect. Like that means when Spencer Strider comes back on game 1, he has no rust like that. You know, so or if he does, he knocks it off in like an inning or two, and then he's back looking like Spencer Strider before the surgery. Ronald Acuna would have to come out there game 1, hit a single and then steal a base, you know, so immediately just to let everybody know, hey, these knees are okay. You know, it's like a lot of different things that will have to go right. Shoot, we need Austin Riley to bounce back. You know, Austin Riley didn't have a season like Austin Riley last season. He was hurt as well in and out of the lineup. Matt
Olson.
He doesn't have to have that home run season type of a year, but he does have to have a consistent bat because you've seen down the stretch, Matt Olson started to wake up a little bit more.
He did.
Started hitting a little bit more RBIs, you know, some batting average went up just a tad bit. So, you know, he started to come around toward the end, but
I just can't believe that drop between one season that 51 with 151, 52 home run season had to what he did last year. But
man,
again,
I feel like we were swinging for the fences a lot. You think about it, everybody was swinging for the fences.
Yeah, we were.
Even Michael Harris was swinging for the fences.
We were. But honestly, guys, I don't see it. And I don't see it for a couple of reasons. Number one, Philly had their 1, 2, and 3 starters were great. So you've got you've got Wheeler, you've got Nola, you've got Swear what's his name? Latino
Swearinger, something like that.
No,
Swing. I'm saying it wrong too. That's one thing about baseball, boy. Them
names, boy.
So you got, geez, man, dude, what are we doing? Philly's probable pitchers. Okay, we've got. What the hell am I looking at? Okay, let me go back. I'm sorry. Suerto? Is it Suerto? It's hang on, I'll tell you in a sec. Aaron Nola, Suarez. So you got Zach Wheeler, Aaron Nola, Ranger Suarez, which was their 3, and then they added Jesus Luzardo, right? That's the best rotation in our division. Bar none, top 4, right?
Okay.
Then you look at their lineup, which is good, right? And we haven't even gotten to the Mets yet. And the Mets took a step forward. Of course, they went out and got Soto, which in and of itself is not gonna. But I just think that's a tough ask, man. I mean, will we make the playoffs? I'm not. Yeah, we'll make the playoffs next year. But if you talk about winning the NL East, first off, I think those teams are going to beat the snot out of each other. Like it is not going to be easy, and it's one of the reasons I feel like we really need to get another starting pitcher, because it's not just the performance that you're replacing. Look at Max Fried pitched 174 innings last year. Charlie pitched 166. That's 300 plus innings that now you have.
That's a lot of innings you got to replace.
A lot of innings,
absolutely,
right?
Correct.
That's number one. Number 2, Jimenez is down, and AJ has a hip, and I don't think you're going to sign him. So that's 2 that you're down. You need at least one dominant reliever, and preferably a lefty, so he can handle Bryce Harper, he can handle Bohm, he can handle Schwarber, and all of those terrorists coming out of that. I shouldn't say terrorists, but all of those bombers coming out of Philly's lineup, and we don't have that right now. right? So that's like my concern. My concern is you need to address, if you do, even if you don't address left field, and I would hope that you would, but if you don't, you need a starting pitcher because you're going to have to replace those innings, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you need a reliever on the back end that when you take on the Phillies and Mets, it's wipeout. You need a wipeout reliever. You need those two things, and right now we don't have them. So for me, right now, I don't think we do win the East. I think we make the playoffs. Right. I don't think we win the East. That's just
fair enough. Fair enough.
Just my
thoughts. Fair. It just so much will have to go right. My goodness, it's just a tall order.
I mean, it's a very tall order, man. It's a very tall order. So look at the trades that are out there, right? Who would you say would be the Braves' untouchables? And obviously, number one, Mr. Drake Baldwin. I'm going to go ahead and give you that.
Right.
He's not going anywhere. But who else would you say? And let me see if I can find it. Now I can't find it. I did all of this prep work before the show, and now I can't find it. That is just bad, T. Will. That is very bad. You suck right now. That is bad. Okay.
The best part of waking up is to go ahead and sip what's in your cup.
It's not what's in my cup. I keep telling you, it's not it. Oh, where is it? Oh,
I'm gonna have to come up with a new segment. What's in T. Will's cup?
What's in T. Will's cup? All right, let me just see. Braves top prospect.
Damn, you said you can't say Drake Baldwin. He's the only one that's on my mind right now. I can think about is untouchable.
I mean, he's definitely 100% untouchable.
Untouchables.
All right, so Cam Caminiti, I would say Cam Caminiti is untouchable. This is Ken Caminiti's nephew, the late great Ken Caminiti. His nephew.
I thought it was his cousin. Is his nephew?
It might be his cousin.
Either way, it's family. It's family.
Yeah, he's family. He's family. So I would say he's untouchable. I'm not going to say AJ is untouchable. I'm not going to say Waldrop is untouchable.
I think Nacho Alvarez is untouchable.
No, he didn't look good last year.
Alvarez. No, he didn't look good at all. I mean, you're right. He got caught when he got called up. You know, he what was it, like 10 strikeouts or whatever. But the only reason I say he's untouchable is that we have to have. Let me tell y'all.
A shortstop.
What y'all think?
I got you.
Yeah, shortstop. You see where I'm going with this?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, so if Arcia is we need a backup plan. If Arcia has anything close to what he did last year, we're gonna need someone to bring somebody up. In my opinion, that's why. Not to say that Nacho Alvarez is untouchable, but we do need that contingency plan, and I think that plan is Nacho Alvarez.
Yeah,
because Nacho needs a little more work too.
He does.
He's not ready. I don't think he's ready.
He's not. I would say so. I'd say Cam Caminiti, Drake Baldwin, Owen Murphy, and J.R. Ritchie. After that, it's anybody's ball game.
Owen Murphy, that's a good one right there.
Yeah. I'd say he's untouchable. I'd say J.R. Ritchie is untouchable. Definitely Drake Baldwin. Cam Caminiti, because you just drafted him. He's your number one draft pick, and teams just don't do that. But A.J. Hurston definitely can trade him. I'm not saying I want to. I'm just saying they're not untouchable.
You could, yeah.
Nacho Alvarez.
I ain't gonna lie to you. You better get something significant if you're gonna trade AJ, though.
Oh, I agree.
mean, Waldrop too, but we seen what AJ could be.
Oh no, I agree 100%. I agree with you. You can't just trade him for a pitcher with a 4.5 ERA whose contract is up next year. No, you got to get something. I would agree with that. But I would say those are untouchable. So, hey man, look, it was good talking Braves baseball with you guys. To everybody in the chat, thank you tonight for joining us. We appreciate that. And hey guys, hey, maybe we can do this again sometime. This was fun. I really enjoyed it. So, if you guys are up for it,
for sure, absolutely.
I mean, we got at least a month until we got 2 months. No, we got a month until spring for training, right? Because
it'll be here fast though.
Yeah, pitchers and catchers in 5 weeks.
Yeah. So
and then, but like you said, the season starts. But like Chris said, it's fastly approaching.
Yeah. So I mean, hey, let's get together and do this again, man. This was fun. I appreciate it. To everybody who joined, thank you. You guys could have been anywhere in the world at 9:30 on a Saturday night, and you chose to join us and give us your time and really participate. So ATL Kool-Aid drinkers, thank you. Marvette, you are a superstar, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's see who else was in here. I'm missing somebody. I don't want to miss somebody. Angel, thank you for coming in. We appreciate that. So yeah, guys, tell everybody where they can find you. Debo, tell these nice folks where they can find you.
Gladly, yes, sir. First of all, T. Will, thank you so much for allowing me on here to do some Braves talk. Love my Braves, and in AA we trust. As for myself, you can find me on Debo Vibes on YouTube. Mainly Falcons talk, but as the season is about to dwindle, the season ends tomorrow, in my opinion, for the Falcons.
Don't do me like that. Don't do me like this. It's gonna be New Year's miracle.
She's warming up.
This is what I'm saying. She's warming up. The Saints are not going to let the Falcons go to the playoffs.
Absolutely not.
Period.
Let me ask you a question.
And I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't rooting for them either. Not in this
life
or in the alternate universe.
If you're the Falcons and it meant winning a game for the Saints to advance, dude, I'm sitting everybody.
No, I'm losing. I'm sitting everybody.
I'm sitting everybody.
I'm sitting everybody.
I'm playing the fifth string practice squad.
Hey, T. Will, I'm punting on third down.
Third down. You talking about? I'm spiking the ball on first down.
Hey man, I look it. I just, you know what I mean. And it's bad that we put ourselves in this. I'm not going to belabor the point because we've all beat ourselves up and we've all beat the Falcons up and we beat this thing like a drum. But oh my God, could there be a worse fate than to have to depend on your arch rival, your mortal enemy? Like, that's just insane.
Yeah.
And their roster is decimated. Like,
bro, they don't got nobody playing tomorrow. I mean, their backup, Kendrick Miller. I mean, I think his name Kendrick Miller, backup running back, he's out. And I think, well, of course, I know Carr's out. So automatically, and you got this juggernaut of an offense,
bro,
for Tampa Bay about to handle their business against a bunch of second and third stringers, and they know with that win they can win the whole thing.
That game's gonna be over by the second quarter. Like, they literally, New Orleans is taking on the Monstars tomorrow. It's gonna be
28 to nothing at the end of the first quarter.
They're taking on the Monstars from Space Jam. That's who they're taking on. But hey, man, appreciate that. Debo, feel free to come back anytime, man. Appreciate you.
I appreciate it. Absolutely. Yes, sir.
A1, tell these folks where they can find you, man.
Hey, man, A1 Forever Sports, that is the platform on YouTube. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Be generational because it's always time to be. And don't you settle for less because you always can have more with the vision. It is Saturday night, 10:44. The Atlanta Hawks are about to play. And I'm about to go find my piece today because that's my thing to do. About to get into it. Hopefully the Atlanta Hawks can bounce back from this 2-game losing streak we have going right now. And thank you, T. Will, for inviting me on here, man. Thank you, Debo, for coming on, joining us as well. Mm-hmm. Hey, man, we're going to see what the Braves do, man, moving forward. You know what I'm saying? Good luck to the Falcons tomorrow. Just take care of business and let the chips fall where they fall. Also, TikTok, the real A1 Forever. And Twitter and Instagram, A1 Forever. Try to keep everything, you know what I'm saying, right there toward each other so it's easy to find me. And make sure, like I said, you find your piece today. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday evening. And thank you guys for tuning in again.
Hey, Chris, I got one more thing. As you're watching the game tonight with the Hawks, it's the Clippers, right? They're playing tonight.
And the Clippers tonight.
Yeah, so if Coach Quinn for the Hawks needs some timeouts, just have him hit up Raheem. Raheem got plenty of it.
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh, shots fired! I love it. I love it. Hey,
just saying.
Speaking of Raheem,
what did you, good?
Debo, did you happen to see that interview?
Oh,
which one? The press conference?
With Dukes and Bell.
Yeah, with Dukes and Bell. When Mike Bell was Mike Bell was a man of people. He's simply articulating what the fans are saying.
Yes.
Raheem wasn't accepting that.
Right.
So, and the thing about it is that there's a big difference between saying that you're with a team and saying that you're with a city, which Raheem is doing, like, hey, we're going to outrun the South, and actually being part of the city and living in the city and going through this for almost decades. So when you see a fan's frustration about what happened last week, and to be honest with you, a couple other mishaps he's done through the season, of course we're going to be pissed off, and Mike Bell was pissed off, and he expressed that, and I think Raheem was wrong. But see, this past week, Raheem has said, no, well, let me back that up. More than just this past week, Raheem has said some of the dumbest things, particularly in press conferences and interviews, and not taking accountability. Now, last week he took accountability. He's like, yeah, I got to do better. But then he turned around again and said, well, my offense could. The reason I didn't call timeout because I thought from offense working a little more faster. No, bro, which one is it? So, no, yeah. But to answer your question, yeah, I saw that. And Mike Bell was totally right. And Mike Bell was upset about it. Now, matter of fact, Mike Bell was upset. And then Stick Shapiro, I think he came out. He was like
Rob Dibble was because Rob was the one he really went off on, right?
Right.
Man, he told Rob a new one.
He did.
He did. And it was sad because Rob prefaced it by saying, "Look, I'm a 40+ year Falcons fan. I rock with the Falcons. I rock with you. I support you. But some of these fans are no longer believing in you. Give them a reason why they should still believe." And he was like, "I don't think I have to do that. Yeah, I don't think I have to do that." And honestly, I think he missed an opportunity to connect, right?
Big time.
Because all he had to do was say, look it, guys, obviously not calling the timeout was a mistake. So let me first and foremost apologize. Whatever I was thinking in the moment, it was the wrong call and it cost us, and I'm sorry. And I am truly sorry. But let me tell you what I was thinking. In the moment, I'm thinking we're going to see their best blitz package if we call a timeout. The best chance of success we have to catch them off guard is if we just no huddle and keep it going out. It didn't end up that way, but those are my thoughts. And if he would have put it that way, I think it would have been okay. But I think Raheem has a bit of an ego. And I think if he's not careful,
of an ego, huh?
Well, I'm trying to look. I'm getting my Jack Spade on. I'm trying to be positive. I'm trying to be positive.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I'm trying to be positive.
You've been positive, saying saying he got an ego.
You know, but if he's not careful, it could be his undoing. And let me tell you something. I like Coach Rock. I think he's a motivator. I think he's very charismatic. And look at. He fixed the defense. Now, he fixed it probably 3 weeks too late, but he fixed the defense. So you can't argue that, dude. We went from having 10 sacks in week 11. We have the most sacks in the league the last 5 weeks. We are killing it. Now, you probably should have did that 3 weeks prior, but I like Raheem, but Raheem he's got to do some soul searching. That's my only thing, because you can't condescend to people and tell them, well, you're stuck in the past and I'm like, do you not realize there are some Falcon fans that have not watched the Falcons since 2016?
Oh, right.
Like a lot of these folks have PTSD. I'm in Sam's today, right? And I'm
about to catch out. I'm gonna catch y'all in a minute.
That's right. Okay. All right. Hey, we can talk about this another time, man. I'm not trying to hold y'all up. Look, Debo, enjoyed it, man. Let's link up.
Me too, man. I did the same, man.
You can find me at One Time for the Fan on Sunday nights at 9, 8, Wednesdays at 9, Friday mornings at 9 a.m. You can find me at Beard Gang Tuesday mornings at 10 a.m. And you can find me on this channel, my channel, for my ATL Sports 1. That's the number 4, my ATL Sports, the number 1 on YouTube. Monday mornings at 10, Wednesday mornings at 10, and probably going to be some other morning shows that we have as well. So anyway, hey, man, want to thank God. Wouldn't be here without this opportunity. Appreciate it. And want to thank Mr. Jack Spade and my brother Eric Parker for getting me in this business. And Depot, man, it was just good seeing you again, man.
Likewise, man. Likewise. You already know. Hey, anytime, man. Anytime.
We got to do this again. Hey, y'all be good. Go Braves. And we'll see you next week.